Each summer, Laura and I have traveled together in Henry during her summer vacation. 2 summers ago, we traveled the coastal highway from northern Oregon to southern California. Last summer, we toured Canada and Washington. Having moved to Colorado 2 years ago, we decided to explore her new home state of Colorado. Our first trip took us to southern Colorado for a ride on the Cumbres-Toltec Railroad. You can see that video by clicking the link at the end of this video or in the information below. Our second trip took us to the very familiar Maroon Bells near Aspen, where our family camped most every summer while she was growing up. We felt fortunate to get a place at the Silver Bell campground. Normally we would both sleep in Henry, but for old time's sake, Laura pitched her tent as close to the sound of the rushing Maroon Creek as she could. We spent a good deal of time enjoying the campsite. There were many meals to prepare and many dishes to wash. And of course, camping would not be camping without sitting beside the campfire. We reminisced about the many times we had camped at Silver Bell in the past years. While I was getting something out of Henry, Laura was startled when a large moose walked across the campground and through our campsite. Those camping next to us caught some of it on their phone. Frequently, we drove into nearby Aspen, Colorado. As in the past, we spent time in the library. Laura happened to be doing a photo essay on Colorado libraries above 7,000 feet in elevation and took these lovely pictures. The famous Aspen Music Festival was in progress, and each evening we enjoyed listening to students at various free venues around town. On Sunday, we attended the Methodist Community Church. Hearing that there was to be a free concert on top of Aspen Mountain, we caught a ride up on the gondola. The view was amazing. Before the concert, we enjoyed some lunch in the mountaintop restaurant. The 1 hour of brass quartet music made it all so very worthwhile. The reason for camping at Silver Bell was to have easy access to Maroon Lake and the Maroon Bells. We took several long walks around the lake. We saw beavers, marmots, deer, and moose. We both sat for a while on what we now call Sally's Rock, where we scattered some of her ashes a few days after her memorial service. It was a place where she loved to sit. On one of our walks, there were 2 moose in the creek just across from Sally's Rock, where we had sat the day before. They were keeping a watchful eye on their baby moose, resting on the bank. After 9 nights, we packed up and headed to Marble, Colorado, where even the steps and the walkway to the campground shower house were made of marble slabs from the marble quarry. We drove up the mountain to see the quarry itself. Years ago, each piece of marble for the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. was cut from this quarry. That night we ate at Slow Groovin' Barbecue, which is a destination restaurant for the area. We shared hillbilly nachos. They were very good. Our route the next morning to Crested Butte took us on a 30-mile dirt road over Kebler Pass. The flowers and the views were beautiful. Rounding a bend, we were surprised by a herd of several hundred sheep. For the next fourth mile, we crawled along at a sheep's pace. Neither Laura nor I had ever been to Crested Butte before. Laura put her skills to work that she learned in photojournalism classes at the University of Missouri. Here are her first impressions of Crested Butte. I have always been impressed with what her eyes pick out to photograph and the interesting compositions she captures. While Laura was photographing, I found a free music venue sponsored by the town museum. The guitarist was a good singer and a delightful entertainer. We also visited the Crested Butte Library, where Laura added pictures to her photo essay of Colorado libraries over 7,000 feet in elevation. Our last stop on this leg of the journey was to Gunnison, where we also visited their library. Entering the library, we saw a notice for a free concert at 6 p.m. and decided to return that evening. I used the library Wi-Fi, while Laura added pictures to her photo essay of libraries. Back at our campsite, we ground some cardamom and made some yummy masala chai, or as it is popularly called in the United States, chai. When we learned of the lovely Western Colorado University Library located across town, we headed over, and Laura added some great shots to her photo essay. Drawing this trip to a close that evening, we thoroughly enjoyed the Gunnison Library's Free String Quartet concert.